Hello, and welcome to the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. I'm faking energy because I've got one of those headaches that takes over half your head, and paracetamol's just not kicking it. I'm like just pretending that I'm human right now. So you guys better bring the energy because I'm not sure I'm capable today. How are we all doing?
Yeah, good.
Too bad.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. I feel like Mark and Molly, I feel like I haven't seen you for ages, and like Tim, I just feel like we just don't spend a minute apart at the minute.
I was going to say, leave me alone. It's getting a bit weird.
Cool. Okay, so Green Umbrella Live Lunch, episode 161. It's not a very exciting number, is it? 161. It's like it's not halfway to anything. It's like not near any particular milestones. Just 161. There we go. Cool. So, what have we all been up to this week? What's been going on? Before we dive into the social media news, what's happening?
I'll go first.
Normal stuff, really.
So lots of event stuff coming up, webinars, things like that, podcast stuff. It's been a busy little badger. It just seems to just be non-stop at the moment, which is good because I feel like the days are just jam-packed, which is making them go really, really quick. But yeah, and Catalyst, of course, now on week 3 of that with the guys, so that's good. And just general Christina-ness adding to the to-do list.
It has been crazy the last couple of weeks. There's been loads of events in the recruitment world. So I've been averaging one night at home each week for the last 2-3 weeks, which has just been exhausting, which is probably why I've got the headache, to be honest. Now I've had 2 nights at home in a row. It's like my body's remembered what my bed is actually like. So yeah, it's like, oh, we can relax now. So there we go. Mark, you've been working on some new websites, haven't you? And new branding, that kind of stuff for some clients.
Yeah, just sort of bits and bobs. Yeah, started a new website for a really awkward customer, and then
That might be me.
and then just
Oh right,
going
thank
through
God for that. I was like, Mark, they might be watching.
No, they're on it. Don't worry.
They are present.
And some logo stuff for a new client as well, which is really good. So yeah, that's hopefully nearly there, and then we might be doing some of the bits and bobs with them as well. So that's really cool.
Excellent. And Molly, you just come back off holiday.
Yes, and if anybody hasn't noticed, a certain loud body is not here. She is also on holiday, so this week I have been covering her, which has kept things busy. It's quite nice to get some different clients, get your fingers involved in other things. That was
not scary at all.
No.
You know what? I always think when you guys are, so just for context, obviously Molly and Nicole both manage social media for our clients. What's really good is that when one of them's on holiday, the other one picks up their contracts and covers it in their absence. But what it does is it puts a fresh pair of eyes on the contract.
Definitely.
So it's like, well, you haven't been doing this, why not? Or like you might have had an idea this week that you've used that is just an idea Nicole's never come up with before. And so it is having that kind of fresh set of eyes is really good. So
and it's even like picking up like, oh, that's how you did that kind of thing. Well, I can transfer that into my client and like sharing ideas, stealing ideas off each other.
Stealing. As if you would steal. I've just realised I'm going to take this off because nothing's coming through it anyway, so I'm just throwing it on the floor and unplugging it now. So any sound issues, it'll be my fault. But there you go. Cool. Okay, so social media news. There's like I feel like there's some cool stuff. Well, not cool stuff. There's been some interesting articles over the last week. I was late getting into the green room, so we haven't had chance to go who's covering what. So I'm just going to dive in and hope that I've got something left at the end of it. So, Molly, what have you got?
So WhatsApp are adding a new promotional option to help brands connect with customers. So going to be launching paid promotions that you can launch on WhatsApp and share into Facebook and Instagram without an account. And the idea is to boost brand exposure and create more direct lines of communications between consumers and brands, which I thought was quite interesting.
Cool. So I saw the article. I haven't read this one yet. So you said you don't need to have a Facebook account to run the ad.
No, so it's going to be primarily for businesses that are based on WhatsApp, and they're going to be able to share their promotions or their posts, I guess you could say, into Facebook without having an account, and then the messages will be directed straight to WhatsApp.
Cool. Okay, that's interesting. We had a conversation this morning, didn't we, Kim, about WhatsApp as a business marketing tool, not just as a comms tool, but as a marketing tool as well. Just how, the sort of different options on there now in terms of the WhatsApp group now. It's not just a bunch of people stuck together. There's actual group functionality, community functionality, which works pretty nicely, and the ability to create groups that are just broadcast groups. That, especially, obviously we were talking to a group of recruiters. It's like, how can they keep their candidates, their contractors updated almost real time without having to manage all the communication coming backwards and forwards? So I can imagine the ads, if it was possible, to run an ad to say, come and join our broadcast group, essentially. That'd be a really good way of getting new candidates in. So, yeah. And it's something like we've been promised paid advertising on WhatsApp for years. When I say years, probably 4 or 5 years ago. It was like back when Meta acquired WhatsApp. They talked about extending paid ads into for WhatsApp users. So interesting, very interesting. We'll see how that one plays out. Is it something they're testing, or is it something that's actually happening?
It's actually happening.
Okay,
yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I don't know when it's happening, but it is actually happening. So like you said, it'll be good to see how it all plays out.
Brilliant. Cool. Okay. Mark, what have you got?
Well, we've got a bit more info on the Meta Twitter clone app, which they think is going to launch for the next few weeks now. So they're sort of expecting it by the middle of July. So there's a bit more information come out on that, a few more rumours and things. I mean, I think I'm just trying to skim through this article, but they're hoping for a really quick take up of it by the look of it. So obviously, if you take into account Instagram's got over 2 billion users, so even if a small percentage of those people take it up straight away, it's almost going to actually overtake Twitter instantly in terms of users, which is going to be interesting.
Okay, so here's my question. Do you think they've left it too late to launch this?
No.
I think so.
Ooh.
Well, I feel like go back a couple of weeks, all of our stories were Twitter, and now other people are doing things, and that's getting a bit more of the limelight. I feel like Twitter had its peak that people were talking about it, and now it's declining. And I feel like if Meta had done it then, it would have. But obviously, with the whole cage fight, which we discussed last week, that might encourage people to go that way.
Have you heard about the cage fight, Christina?
Yeah.
What a story.
Well, I think there'll be enough. If reading this article, they're almost going to launch it from within Instagram. So I think if they do that, there's going to be sort of enough interest internally within the app to actually just get a bit of traction straight away. Obviously, if it's no good, then people will ditch it and probably won't do it anyway. But I just think it will generate some interest.
People are bored of Twitter. They're bored of the drama. They're bored of the chaos.
Well, here's my thing. So, what's it called? Mastodon. Right. So that kind of, when Musk took over Twitter, that really grew. But then it's kind of tailed off. And it tailed off a couple of months ago. And I've seen something this week about, apparently since Musk took over, hate speech on Twitter has just like massively increased. So I do feel like people are almost going like just washing their hands of it now. And in the process of washing their hands of it, they've gotten into, whether they've gone to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. So they've kind of left that form of platform behind to go towards something else, or just to disappear completely from social media, perhaps. So the people that disappeared are not going to use it. The people that have gone elsewhere, probably not. They're happy where they are. It's still shiny new when they're engaged in that. So I just feel like the timing might be off on this one.
Oh, we should have a wager.
Don't encourage gambling.
Sorry, Harsh. Yeah. Like for sweets, something innocent.
I can't. I'm such a bugger when it comes to things like that. I can't. That's when I get really competitive, and I'm a terrible loser. So no. So yeah. So like I said, I think it is just. I think it might be about 3-4 months too late.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've got the split screen.
Yeah.
Remember episode 161 in about 6 months' time.
We need one of those graphics like that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will go a bit like TikTok now. So have you seen TikTok now as being, they're getting rid of it, they're cutting it, they're axing it.
Yeah.
That's my next story.
That was my next story, yeah. It's all right.
Then. So, because it's bigger than just that. It's bigger than just that. So, basically, within the TikTok app, there's a little section called TikTok Now. And the idea is that it pings you at a point in the day. You take your photo wherever you are, whatever you're doing. It's front and rear camera, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like BeReal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the BeReal.
And it was a copy of BeReal, and BeReal is an app that is like literally just that. Anyway, it launched September time, September, October, and they've said they're acting it now. Now, in some countries, it actually exists as a separate app.
Yeah.
It's combined within the app. So, like for us, where it's in-app, it's just going to disappear. You'll still have access to everything you shared on there before. But in those countries where it's a separate app, it's not clear whether that app is going to continue to run or not. My guess is they'll just put it. The reason they're pulling it is not clear, but we can assume it's being pulled because it's not being used. At the same time, have you seen information around BeReal's usage?
I don't.
So apparently, so BeReal are like, we're strong as ever, everything's amazing. However, there is data to suggest that the usage on BeReal has been tanking.
That doesn't surprise me, though, to be fair. So many people that I know did it for so long, and then I feel like it just dipped off. Like people were just like, "Oh,
shiny new thing." I'm sure we've spoken about it before, like with you guys using it. I think I used it once, and I was just like, "What is the point?" I'm not getting anything from it.
No, and all I'd see was like people at work, or like it was just the same kind of thing day in day out. But if you're on holiday, brilliant, you're doing different things. Or I remember I used it last summer when I just finished university, and I was doing when I was doing things, but like when you're just like doing the same thing every day, it's just repetitive and boring. So
but you couldn't. Am I right in thinking you couldn't comment and stuff like that?
Oh no, you could eventually. Yeah,
eventually, yeah. Because when I joined it, there was just no interaction. I was like, what is the point of this? Like, what? I almost felt as if, like, is there something wrong with me because I don't get it? I mean, let's not ask that one.
The thing I did like about it was, though, at the end of the year, you do a recap of your year, and it would do like a really quick of all your photos. And I thought that was quite nice because you could be like, oh, I was there, oh, I was doing that. But yeah, I feel like now
you've just got to rely on the old memory.
Yeah,
I just feel like at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm always in the same place doing the same thing.
Mm.
At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 out of 7 days, I'm in the same place doing the same thing. And so it was just I only spent a couple of weeks looking at it, but I just thought, this is not engaging.
Yeah.
So, and I think as a content creator, it's actually quite hard to create something engaging within the parameters of the app.
Mm.
So yes, I'm not surprised. Not
Yeah.
surprised on that one. Did you have any like, what were your thoughts around it when you saw the news? Were you like, oh yeah, I forgot about TikTok now?
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, oh, I didn't even realise that still existed. But yeah. If I'm honest, I never got behind TikTok now. I tried BeReal for a couple of months, I think, but TikTok now I just never engaged with.
Yeah.
I think I maybe shared a few things in there.
Mm.
Yeah. Cool. So Kim, have you got any other news? Now I've stolen that one, sorry.
I have, but only because I read it 3 minutes before we came on. Because, like I said, we've all been so busy, we haven't even had a chance to breathe. So the headline is LinkedIn's experimenting with monetization opportunities for creators. And it says soon they may be looking to provide direct monetization opportunities for creator mode users as well via new collaborative posting option that would enable brands and influencers to share insights and ad campaigns. So they'll be able to share analytics data.
Yeah, you can stop reading at that point because that is literally all the information that's available on it.
Fab. Good.
Like literally,
I know my stuff.
We've got nothing more than that on it. So it is it's kind of like what other apps have done. Okay, in terms of the monetization stuff. So, you can, like, you could put something on Instagram and say it's linked, you're affiliated with someone else, and it's like promoting. So it's just the same as that.
Oh,
so yeah, so it's kind of, oh, LinkedIn's woken up again. Oh, well done, LinkedIn, pat on the back. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how it plays out, because obviously when this sort of stuff happens on Instagram, for example, it's like I'm running this ad because I'm helping a major brand sell their product to an end user. Whereas, although we're all end users on LinkedIn as well, I don't think we'll see those sorts of collaborations. It will be the B2B collaborations.
Yeah.
I think we'll see how it plays out, but it could be quite interesting. I think one of the things I like most about it is that, for example, I could collaborate with Green Umbrella. So whereas we've always had this thing of, like, you've got to run your personal profile to direct people back to the company page, I feel like this is going to make it even better. And it's all about personal brand at the end of the day, people using their personal brands to monetize. Well, from a B2B perspective, personal brand has been really, really strong for a long time now. So I am, although it is kind of like, come on, LinkedIn, like, it's about time you got with the program, it's actually quite an exciting move if done correctly. I think
I did have another LinkedIn one as well, which I've just remembered. Do you remember, because I've already posted about it, the changes to the LinkedIn algorithm?
Yeah.
So essentially what it looks like is it kind of steered to Facebook's style of posting. People were getting a bit more personal, and it was kind of moving away perhaps from the more professional tone. It's now going to down rank or not push it as further, sort of those engagement, and try and make it a bit more professional again.
Yeah, so it's not going to filter. It's not looking at filtering out personal content. It's looking at filtering out the engagement hacking content.
Okay. I've read it very briefly.
Yeah, so things like, how do you like your toast, and it's all the bits of toast laid out on a grid, and
yeah.
So it's that type of content it wants to down rank.
Yeah, because I don't care how people on LinkedIn like their toast. I'll be honest.
unless you're
Facebook-
a coffee shop, though, that might be good information.
You're going to be on LinkedIn really so much? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not.
It is, however, going to start, but there's certain types of content it's now going to promote. Well, it's always promoted, but they've sort of restated that they're promoting it. Do you want to cover that off, Kim?
I don't remember that bit.
Okay. So it is that expert content.
Okay, oh, yes. Yeah.
So like I share stuff around social media, online marketing. What will happen is it sees me sharing that, and it sees that my profile is heavily weighed around that topic.
Okay.
So if I'm then getting engagement on my posts that correlate with what's on my profile, it's going to upgrade those in the algorithm.
I see.
So again, making sure your profile's optimized, making sure the message of your profile really communicates what you do, how you do it, who you do it for, and then sharing content that supports that in a expert manner is really going to push things forward. And with that, you also need to ensure that what you're sharing is your opinion, your insight, not just a Social Media Examiner shared this article about LinkedIn algorithm. Here you go. You actually having an opinion around that, talking about, discussing, item number 3 is really important, and this is why. So I think with that in mind, we'll start to see longer copy on posts again as people understand how this is working.
Interesting.
I go through phases where people are writing longer copy, short, snappier copy, just dependent on what's getting the most engagement, what's getting the most reach. So like reading between the lines of what they've said, like that this is what the algorithm wants, this is what we want to promote in feed, I think that's what we're going to see. The other thing is content from first connections is going to be promoted more as well. And if you're engaging, it's going to be promoted more, which again brings me back to something I've always said, which is don't just connect with anybody, connect with people that are going to have value to you. So whether that's value because you think you're going to do business with them, or value because you're going to learn something from them, they're the right people to connect with. Connect with people just for the sake of numbers, no, waste of time. I just put a great big full stop at the end of that conversation.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Anyone else got any opinions on that one?
No, I think it's a good thing to put more emphasis on the profile, because I feel like it's a bit like any profile. You set it up when you join the account, and then maybe you don't stay on top of updating it as much as you probably should. So creating an emphasis between, well, if your profile's at a standard and your posts are at a standard, you're going to get more engagement. I think we'll encourage people to look back at their profile and be like, okay, let's just tweak that word in, or let's just hit a keyword in there a bit more. Because I know I'm guilty of it. You set up a profile and you don't necessarily go back to it. If you're posting, you just think, oh, that's fine. But it's looking at the profile, like the basics, in order to get engagement.
Yeah, I saw a great blog about that, actually, about revisiting your LinkedIn profile, and you see where I'm going with this, don't you, Molly?
Yeah.
And making sure that your profile is as it should be, all present, correct, all that sort of stuff. Check it out, Green Umbrella. It's quite good.
You know our stuff. When did I write that? I don't even remember writing that.
Last week.
Really? Because I wrote another one yesterday.
She's been at a lot of events, guys. The memory's gone a bit.
Well, do you know what it is? I'm like, that's not the last blog I wrote, but it's because I wrote a blog yesterday on leadership and resilience and how that crosses over into marketing and values and all that kind of stuff. So,
but also we've got a great course available as well, haven't we?
We have.
I made it, so I really want to,
we've got a fantastic course, online course, self-service. What's it like, about 10, 12 videos?
Yeah, it's not long at all.
And it walks you through how to set up your LinkedIn profile for success.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, I did a talk in front of some. They'd all just finished their apprenticeships, so sort of young careers kind of thing, early careers. And I gifted it to them all so they could go and get their LinkedIn profiles all set up and that kind of thing. So yeah, we've got that too. We've got it all. What haven't we got? The guide on using WhatsApp broadcast groups. That's what we discovered this morning. We haven't got. So that's in the workings
We
now.
will have by the end of the week.
Yeah, that might be next week's blog. Cool. Okay, so I do have one other thing, but have you guys, anyone got anything else?
I've got a LinkedIn one that's maybe tenuously connects to what you've just been talking about. So LinkedIn have developed, so obviously if you've got a nice proper profile, brilliant. If you're a faker, you're in trouble. So basically they have now got some AI tools to actually help detect even more fake profiles, which to me, I'd never really thought about fake profiles on LinkedIn before, because you think, you see stuff on Facebook and stuff like that. But apparently they removed 20, where's it gone? 20, I think it's 22 million fake profiles last year from LinkedIn.
Wow. Yeah.
What?
But this tool is supposedly got sort of about a 99% success rate of sort of detecting fake profile pictures, which then helps them even more in getting rid of these fake accounts. As it's 21 million fake accounts in the first half of 2022 was detected and removed. But one of the reasons that people set up fake accounts is if they're doing sort of articles and Google wants to see that there's an author and there's a link to a LinkedIn profile and things like this. I just never even crossed my mind that you'd set up a fake LinkedIn profile. It's just a bit of a bizarre one for me, but there you go.
And
obviously
people spying on people.
Sorry?
And people spying on people.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
There is, and it's a real problem in the recruitment world. So you get the good, solid, decent recruiters that we work with, and unfortunately, there are some recruiters that use tactics that are not wholesome, and they might have 20, 30 different profiles that. They're just like, well, if you're not responding to me as Christina, maybe you'll respond to me as Kim. Maybe you'll respond to me as Molly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. But then they're relying heavily on automation to make that happen.
Of course, yeah.
So I think this is the thing, that I think the AI will be able to recognise the AI.
Yeah.
Which also means people using automation tools on LinkedIn, it might be a genuine profile, but if it's behaving in an automated way to such a level, there's big risk you'll lose your account.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose when you think about it, I've seen a few things where I've been a bit sus on. I've had multiple connection requests from one company where it does look a bit too formulaic. And maybe I accepted the first one and then maybe the second, and you think, oh, okay, what's going on here? Don't know. So yeah, I suppose when you think about it, but it's not something that's ever really been in my consciousness, really. It's one of those weird things. To me, you just more associate that kind of spam with Facebook, etc.
Yeah. Paul just put in the car, just for clarity, right? It's not me that's the stalker, Paul.
No.
It's not me that's the stalker.
She's too busy. She ain't got time.
Tricky.
I've got a quiz, actually, AI related. You up for it?
Well, all right, but before we do that, because it kind of it leads on to Mark, and I'm going to have to remember the details of it because I read it and I should have dug it out and reread it before this. So LinkedIn are they're testing, but they have given access to some people apparently. I don't know how many some is, and I don't know where in the world this is happening. But basically, when you go to create a post,
Lynn's got this. I think what you're going to say.
Has she got it?
I do. She sent me something. Is it something like hang on, bear with. You chat amongst yourselves and I'll find it.
So you put in, so let's say I can't think of this single thing now. Let's say the TikTok now, I would put in 30 words saying, create a post about TikTok now being removed, and the fact it's because I think it's dull as.
Oh no, different story. Carry on.
And within LinkedIn, so there'll be an AI generator within that LinkedIn post that you have to put 30 words in, and it will write the post for you within LinkedIn. So you don't need to use ChatGPT. You just do it direct in the platform.
That's quite cool.
It sounds cool.
As in that you don't have to chop and change. Whether or not it will be used properly or it'll work well, I don't know. So
what I like is the fact that it's like it wants 30 words. It can't be write me a post about TikTok now.
Yeah.
It's got to be 30 words. So you have to give it something to work with. You can't put 30 words there and not give it something to work with. However, are we pulling the personal out of a social platform?
Yeah.
Is it going to encourage broadcasting?
People are just going to, I think people will overuse it because it becomes too easy.
Yeah.
So therefore, that you'll end up with an absolute dearth of content.
I feel like content will be really mundane as well. Like if nobody's saying that they love something or hate something, you're just stating the facts, aren't you? And you can get facts from everywhere.
It's not personal. It's just like, and the people that have followed you for a long time, been connected with you for a long time, they'll know your tone of voice. They'll know, they'll know you, and you can stop it a mile off.
This is where it has the potential for being smart. And I haven't seen any information on whether or not it's going to work this way. It could work really, really nicely if what it does is look to everything you've posted previously and use that as a basis for your tone.
Yeah.
So it kind of takes the last 12 years I've been on LinkedIn, and it takes all that data to help it produce that one post. Then it will be really smart. Then, like in the perspective of creating LinkedIn posts, personally, I think it will blow ChatGPT out the water.
Yeah.
So there is potential there for it to work really, really well. But and the thing is, if we couple that with what we've just said about how the algorithm's going to work, and it wants insight and advice and opinion, like, is one counteracting the other?
Yeah.
Or is one actually going to help the other?
Yeah. If it's done in the right way, it will help it. But if it's just too, like Molly said, too general, it's,
What happens with like the copyright of that then? Does that does LinkedIn like own what you're posting?
Copyright around AI, there is no straight answer on
No.
wherever it comes from, because it's all still going to come from a base somewhere.
From somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So Kim, I interrupted you. You said you got an AI quiz.
Only because I saw something the other day. I think it was on HubSpot. Is that the right one I'm thinking of? Is that the right one?
Yeah.
Not Hootsuite, HubSpot. One of the two. And it was a little ebook, and I downloaded it, and I was just a little bit shocked. So, in what decade do you think AI was first a concept?
Oh God, 1940s, maybe earlier.
Right, well, you've just ruined the quiz, Mark. I mean, you're wrong because it's 1950s, but still, I was like, what? And then initial AI research in 1980s and 1990s, and we're all thinking it's this big new shiny thing.
No, I would have thought like someone like Turing would have been on it.
Yeah. Honestly, AI stuff it's been around.
And that blew my mind a little bit, or is it just me? Am I the only one?
No.
Thank you, Molly.
How
Yeah.
how long have you been using like Apple Music or Spotify and like a suggested for you?
Siri.
Not that long. Not 1950s.
Yeah, but how many years?
I mean, I'm only very young still anyway, so... Well, I had my first mobile phone when I was 14, so... Oh, Christ, that's depressing. 22 years?
Well, you've been using some form of AI for at least 22 years.
Right, you've all just ruined my quiz. I'm not doing this anymore. Okay. Molly, we'll have a chat about it later about how mind-blowing it is.
Apparently, Siri was first started work on in 2003, even though it didn't launch till 2011. But that's 20 years ago. That would.
I mean, truth is, AI is older than Molly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And can probably walk up the stairs better.
Yeah.
I have nailed that now. I've nailed that.
Amazing.
With a cup of tea and everything, I can do it now.
So proud.
Thank you.
Our little girl's all grown up.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Paul. I think actually, Mr. Green, I'll use my dummy and spit it out instead. Thank you.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, I'm sorry that we've spoiled your quiz.
No, fine.
You can write it up as a blog.
No, I don't want to now. No,
It'd be
don't
good.
worry.
It'd be
No, I'm
good.
busy.
Useful.
No, I'm busy.
Yeah.
No, I'll talk to you later, Molly. No.
So what else stood out for you then on with your little fact sheet there?
Just that number was like, and there's loads of like jargon that I don't really understand. I'll send it to Mark. He's our AI. Yeah, that's pretty much the only bit I read, to be honest. Yeah, I saw that number and it blew my mind, Christina. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still not over it. So I can't really offer any more value than that. So not only have you ruined my quiz, you've made me look like an absolute joking. Yeah, but there's a whole ebook on it. So it's one of those things I downloaded. I saw that and I was like, right, I'm definitely going to read that. I haven't had a chance to, but it is something that I thought we could do a blog or something around.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, it goes into like content creation and curation, social listening, data and tailoring, things like that. Improving response time, automation of low value tasks, so the stuff we already know. What are the risks, all that sort of business. So yeah, I'll report back.
Excellent. Cool. So I have one more thing, which is something actually that we should be using and we don't. So you know how like we talk about stuff here and it's like we talk about the highlights of the news, the updates, the trends. But what we're talking about is the stuff that we're more surprised, excited by, the things we have an opinion of. So this one's actually a bit boring, and it's really important. It's something we need to look at ourselves. So within on Facebook, obviously we can create reels, and there's lots of different ways of creating reels. But one of the things you can now do is basically, let's say you've uploaded a long form video, you can snip part of that video and put that out there as a reel. But what happens is it then has the call to action back to the full video.
Nice.
So we really, we talk about, people like us talk about repurposing content all the time, and it becomes overwhelming because not only have you got to create the video in the first place, which is a headache for a lot of people, you've then got to like edit it and everything else, but now you've got to cut it into like 5-10 different videos and have all those edited and have those all transcribed. I've got like these 123 pieces of content and they've all got to go here, there and everywhere. Well, actually, just that first part of it, Facebook's now making quite simple.
Yeah.
And automatically including that call to action back to previous content. I've got to tell you something ridiculous. Okay.
God. Oh God.
This has been live. This is the third message I've had saying, Christina, glasses.
I don't think I've seen you wear them that much. The
But
old
I think
Christina wore
if it-
them a lot.
Is it not
Like-
just the fact that you ordered them about 18 months ago and you probably picked them up this week?
No, these
No,
are the.
no, she didn't order them, Mark. She had to order them.
These are the.
Oh, right.
No, I still haven't. These are the
Oh.
old ones. But my headache is that bad right now. I need to take some pressure off my eyes.
Kim, didn't you teach me about pinching your thumb? Doesn't that get rid of headaches?
Oh, yeah. So, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly. Well, no, actually, it's proven medically. I've tried it and it worked. It's like, like the acupuncture and all that sort of nonsense. If you, this part of your hand for the viewers, there, if you apply pressure on there, so like that,
Yeah.
it should relieve the pressure in your headache. So much so, people have been putting pegs on there. Just try it. Let's just take a moment. Not us, just.
I can't because the whistling coming out because my headset didn't thingy.
Right.
It's like it's actually like all in my jaw and everything now because of the whistling. Do you know what does work temporarily? Tapping. Have you ever tried that? Tapping.
Yeah, we're still on live lunch.
It's useful information. Content creators need this stuff. This is how you show, even when you feel like I just want a dark room and to get into bed. This is like how you rock up anyway. Oh, Paul's put a very long comment on there now.
What's he barking on about now?
Does rubbing your thumb help? He's copied this from somewhere, isn't it? Pressure points for headaches, tension, sinus, and more. The Union Valley points are located on the web between your thumb and index finger. To treat headaches, start by pinching this area with the thumb and index finger of your opposite hand firmly but not painfully for 10 seconds.
Thank you.
I bet you got that off Wikipedia.
Kim's just secretly typed it in. Published.
Send this in, Paul. Send this in. No, we're not friends anymore. So.
Thank you for that, Paul.
We love you, Paul.
Right. On that note, has anyone got anything else? So I wanted to share I think there was something else to do with Facebook I wanted to share.
Last week, Kim did share about using Lemonade, and since then it is all over all my feeds. Join Lemonade. I haven't, if I'm honest, yet, but it is everywhere.
I haven't looked at it since, as much as I loved it. I haven't got time.
I don't know whether it's they've put some money behind their advertising or my phone is listening to our conversation from last week. But yes, Lemonade is everywhere. So other than Kim, Christina, have you used it?
I haven't.
No?
I love it.
Yeah.
Mark, no?
No.
Do you know, it's like I always used to be the one that tried all this stuff first, but now Kim does. I don't have to.
Wow.
Bad, isn't it?
Wow. Well, there's something to aim for. One day I'll get so successful and so busy that I'll have somebody else to do that for me too.
Yeah, I did remember what the other thing was, but it's not important. It can wait till next week.
We have got an AI related. Well, is it AI related webinar next week?
Automation.
Automation. That's the word.
Yeah. Although there are so next week we have a guest webinar. It's the first time we've done like a guest webinar.
Is it?
Yeah, we've always done our own. I've never brought anyone in to do a webinar before, and yeah, I'm quite excited actually. So Darin Adams from KEAP. So KEAP is it's a CRM. I always describe it as a CRM, but it's way more than just a CRM. There's like masses of automation in it, so he's going to do a webinar for our audience talking about basically automation from a marketing perspective. So like I talk about, social media is like the concrete, the cement, and everything you're doing marketing wise, that's the bricks, that's the windows, that's the doors. And, we need all of that to make sure we've got a marketing machine that works. Well, to get it to all actually hold and have value and essentially create return in your business, you need to make sure everything's linking up in a way that's manageable, and that's where automation comes in. And KEAP is a fantastic tool when it comes to that stuff. So you might have a lead magnet. Well, if it's not on your website, it needs to be on a landing page. or KEAP will allow you to do that. So someone downloads your resource, now they need a series of emails, but if they click on that link, they should receive this email or that email, and gets to a certain point, they should be booking a call. Well, you can manually watch what's happening and pick up the phone and ask them, when are you free? Or you can automatically send them a link to your calendar for them to book in. Then they can automatically get reminders. And so it is a tool that will take you from beginning to end.
Mm.
So
I'm looking forward to it, because
it's one of those things, like, people will love it, and people like me will totally geek out about it.
Because at the moment, like, we get something and then it's like, right, we need to, you go to an event, you've got to put them in the CRM, then you've got to put them into your MailChimp, and then you've got to make sure they're this segment, that segment, and it's just like, for one person, for one potential lead, the amount of admin that can be involved, it's just a headache. So the amount of time it will free up for other things, I think, is incredible.
And it's the tagging and the untagging, and it will do all of that for you.
I think that's amazing.
So so he's going to do a session all around that, and we see so many people where even when they have got something or a few things set up to do all this, it's all a frigging mess. So I'm quite excited about that webinar. Is it on Eventbrite? Yeah, I know it's going on today.
It will be by 3 p.m. this afternoon. So keep your eyes.
Brilliant.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Boom.
That's terrible.
Once you've done it, put the link in the chat.
Absolutely, will do.
Amazing. Cool. All right, guys, we'll call it a day there. Thanks very much. Thank you for people tuning in and listening. And if you're watching on the replay, then just comment below and tell us you watched it on the replay. #replay and all of that. And we'll see you next Thursday at 12 for the next Green Umbrella Live Lunch. Thanks very much.
Don't forget to wave.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.